Today I'm going to be replacing the rear window on my 91 Ford F-150. My previous window was missing latches, it was a little bit scratched up and just needed a replacement. I ordered a replacement window from LMC Truck and it was pretty inexpensive. I think definitely something that should have indicated to me that it might be a too good to be true scenario. You'll see what I'm talking about further on in the video, but let's get along to see what I used to help with this project. A couple of the other components I also purchased from LMC Truck. This first one here is the major gasket. That one was perfect. That one worked really well. The next bits I purchased, I really didn't end up needing with that type of gasket. They would have worked if I used them on the old gasket that I removed, but in this application, they weren't required. It's also good to have a nice pair of gloves when working on windows and anything like that. It was also good just to have a grip on the rope. The rope is also a very important component to getting this window installed. You just want to get some nice thick cord for the project. And then it is definitely easier if you have a suction tool to help you take the window in and out if needed. Those are all the tools that we're going to need for this project. Let's get started prepping our glass pane with our new gasket. After that, we are going to use our cord and we're going to tuck it underneath the back lip of our gasket. That is going to help us immensely getting the lip around the metal part of our window. You're going to want to start at the top of the window and then work your way around towards the bottom and then just overlap on the bottom and you are good to go. It's nice to just tape them up to the window so you don't have anything getting in your way when you're doing the install. When I was removing the old window, I guess my camera was not rolling. I thought it was, but I missed that footage of me removing the old panel. There's tons of videos on there showing you how to do that. If you're going to replace the gasket anyway, a lot of them are already just kind of eaten up over time, and you can always just cut the gasket out and then remove the window pretty easily that way too. Let's take a look at the install. It is definitely a two-person job doing this. You want to have someone on the outside of the truck with your suction tool holding the window in place. Start from the bottom. There I am getting the initial part of the gasket lip over the metal frame area. Next, you want to just work away pulling that cord, and what that'll do is it'll continue to pull the lip of the gasket over the metal frame. Gets a little bit difficult around the corners, but you just got to work at it. Have the person on the other side kind of move the gasket around, just wiggle it around, and then it should just work its way on. As you can see in the video, there are some slight gaps that are left from the gasket and the window just not being in there perfectly. You can see when I pull away the gasket, there's just tons of room in there. It doesn't really feel like an amazing fit. On all corner angles, there's just little bits of room for moisture to get in, and I wasn't super happy about that. I did contact LMC just to see if they had any information on that. I sent them some videos and pictures of what I was dealing with. I thought maybe I had purchased the wrong gasket for that window type, and they did end up sending me another replacement gasket, but it just ended up being the same type that I had already purchased, so that didn't help all that much. At this point, I'm thinking I might have to just find a different window style online, something with the thicker frame on the outside, or go to a junkyard and see if I can find something there. Alright, so I am a couple weeks into having this new window in, and guys, I am just not really happy with the quality here. It's getting a little bit rainy, a little bit stormy here in Phoenix, and I'm just a little worried that the cracks in the gasket here are going to leave room for moisture to get in. I just don't feel like the window is in there all that securely either. You'll see when I remove it how easily it comes out. So what I did was I went to the junkyard and I found a pretty good looking replacement window, just like the one I had with the sliders. Luckily the latches aren't broken, those work really well. So I am going to now be replacing the LMC window with this junkyard replacement window, and let's see how it looks. Firstly, I got to get the old window out. Like I said, it's not in there all that securely, so I was able to just go on the inside and start pushing the lip that we previously had wrapped around the metal frame out, and that does get the window to come out just a little bit. I'm gonna get on the other side using my suction tool, and as you can see, that thing comes out just way too easily. It is time to do exactly what we did to the last window. I got the gasket on there already. I wrapped around our cord. Now, it was a couple weeks since I've done this. I totally forgot the direction that I wanted to wrap the cord, so you'll see it here with the overlapping bits on the top. You want to reverse that and put the overlapping bits on the bottom. Just makes it easier to install. That way the window gets pushed down and you don't have to start with the top first. I realized as we were putting it in that I installed the cord in wrong, so I just have to pull from the bottom. I just don't have as much leverage there, but I was able to wiggle out some of that cord and start pulling on that to get the lip over the metal frame. Now you just want to do the same thing you did with the last window. This one is definitely in there a bit more snug. I needed to go and get some gloves because that cord was just burning my hands after a while of doing that. It's always good to have someone on the outside there to help you. Just keep the window in place, keep it pressed against the metal frame. There we go, almost done. Getting that final top bit perfect. All right, let's get this gasket on there nice and snug. And this is the final product. I don't see any of those gaps on our window that were previously on the LMC truck window. Everything is in there really nicely. You can see when I peel back the gasket now, I don't have that huge gap that's left in there from the other truck window. Looking really good. All right, let's get this cleaned up and let's see the final product. There we go. Windows open very nicely. I'm glad to have a rear window that opens again. And yeah, latches that will actually lock the truck so it is nice and secure. Fantastic. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.